Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Coordinator of Officials with the Minnesota State High School League, and this is our first training tape of the 2018 football season. Welcome to all of our officials to another season of football. It's going to be a great year. We have several clips and several plays that we can discuss mechanics and communication and philosophy, and we have several outstanding examples of officiating. I'm really proud of our officials and the job they did, and I'm proud to showcase that in these training tapes. We'll really focus on mechanics and our angles and philosophy and how we're going to handle situations. Again, you don't have to agree with me on every assessment, but hopefully your crew will communicate with each other on these types of plays and how you'll handle them as we move forward with the season. So again, we're not going to pick on any one team or any one official. We're trying to use these to learn from these clips so that we can have a great season as we move ahead. With that, we'll get to the plays. On this first play, we'll have a attempted pass play. The quarterback ends up breaking out of the pocket to the right side and heading towards the line judge side of the field. Last year, we really wanted you to focus on staying home as line of scrimmage officials. I think I mentioned that in years past, one of the biggest complaints or concerns from coaches was that we were missing low blocks, specifically by defensive ends and linebackers cutting lead blocks. And I think the reason that that became less of a complaint last season was that our line of scrimmage officials were staying home. Therefore, we were either catching those or they were less likely to do those kinds of blocks because we were looking in the right spot. So in this particular play, we're going to have a potential pass, but then it breaks down and he's going to roll out to the line judge side. And I just really wanted to point out the excellent mechanics by the line judge. He stays home, lets the play develop, go past him, and then he comes up the sideline, he gets the spot, and then turns towards out of bounds and officiates players. So just really well done by the line judge. Referees maybe work a little bit wider and deeper, and then you can maintain your cushion as you go upfield, as the referee does here. Nice job by the line judge, again, letting it go past him, turning and facing out of bounds with players, because that's one of the bigger mistakes that we do as line of scrimmage officials, is that we get the spot and then we turn our back to players who are still out of bounds. So we want to make sure we turn and face players like the line judge does in this case. Now this year, when it comes to this mechanic on staying home, if a pass is imminent, the ball is up in the air, he's ready to throw, then line of scrimmage officials, you can go ahead and take off downfield. But for the most part, we want you to stay close like we have in the last year and then again this year. And I think we did a really great job of that all season long. And I really appreciate the diligence of line of scrimmage officials of staying home. I know you really want to get down there and see those pass plays, but the vast majority of our plays take place at the line of scrimmage. And this is just a really good example of our line of scrimmage officials staying home like we would like them to do. Nicely done. On this play, we'll have a scrimmage kick. Point out the positioning of our crew. They're all in good initial position. And then we're going to have a shanked punt. Notice the line judge is releasing on the snap, which is what we'd like. Maybe turn and face the field a little bit more, but good job of releasing on the snap, and then very nicely done. Kill the clock, and then you can put your hand in the air and have the referee line you up. And referees, you don't have to get this exact. In the general area of when it went out of bounds, you can see where it crossed the sideline generally, and just pick a spot and pick a big yard line, and we'll go from there. I used to come up the sideline, and when they started booing, we'd go another 5 yards and then stop there. But for the most part, referees, you can pick up the general location, and people won't fault you for picking a spot in the general area. But overall, well done, very nicely done mechanically by this crew. Good initial position, nice job of picking up the spot from the referee on a shanked kick. Nice job by the crew. On this play, we'll have a free kick. Excellent initial position by the crew, 2 yards off the sideline, just like we want. Well done by the crew in that regard. And then we're going to have a really tough play, a really tough judgment here. The return man's going to catch the ball around the 17-yard line with his knee on the ground, and it's a really excellent pickup by the referee. We can have help here in this particular case from the umpire, but the referee took this play all the way. This year we have new free kick mechanics in Minnesota, and we'll talk a little bit more about it on some other plays, but this year the line judge will be down there about the pylon or up further if we know that the kickers are kicking it short, but they will be able to help on this play as well. But just really well done by the referee, does a nice job of picking this up. This is a really tough judgment, but I just want to point out we have new mechanics this year, so please review those so that you know how you're going to handle that. But then I just wanted to point out really excellent job by the referee, and then listen to the commentary from the TV people. I think that pretty much says it all on this play. Well done.
Kneel down, but sure enough, look at there. Official right on it, right knee. You're not going to get a better look anywhere.
On this play, we have a regular old scrimmage play, nothing unusual. It's the end of the quarter, so we should be aware of clock and those kind of things, but I just wanted to point out just how excellent we did as a crew on this particular play. Well done mechanically. Umpire in particular, I really want to point out how well done his mechanics are. Line judge, excellent. If you look at the replay, umpire is looking backside, looking at blocks, not ball watching. This is excellent. You can tell that he's looking where he's supposed to be looking. Watches the ball carrier goes past him. He's looking backside. Line judge lets the play go in front of him and develop a nice wind as it's close to the sideline. Just really well done. It may seem like basics, but I really just want to point out just how excellent the mechanics and execution was by the crew on this particular play. Well done by the umpire looking backside. Very nice by the line judge. Notice he's a good yard to 2 yards off the sideline, just like we want. Comes down, squares off. Just really well done by the crew. This is how we want it done. Okay, on this play we have a free kick. This crew is using last year's free kick mechanics, so I wanted to use this clip to illustrate our new mechanics. So back judges, you're going to be in the same place as you've been, 2 yards off the sideline as the back judge is here, and then we're going to be flipping the umpire and the line judge. So umpires, you will be at the 50-yard line now. Line judge and head linesman, your initial position will be at the pylon. However, if you're out watching teams prior to the game, we want to watch the kickers, see what they're capable of. If they're kicking it short all the time, then we can move up and we can adjust. And we can adjust as the game goes as well. And then referees, we will be in the middle of the field on the goal line, and then we will work our way forward. Once the players cross your face, back judge and umpires, once they cross your face, once the kickers cross your face, you can come onto the field between the hash and the numbers, and then you're going to zone up and pick up blocks. Okay? Line of scrimmage officials, you're going to officiate out in front of the ball carrier looking at blocks as well. We don't want you to get all hung up on forward progress. We don't have to get that exact to the yard. You know, we need to pick up blocks. And if we have a long return, we have a long return. Back judges, you're going to cover the goal line, and umpires, when the return man, if they gets to you, let them pass, and then turn and officiate blocks, just like you would on a regular scrimmage down. So our new mechanics put all of you in a similar position to what you officiate the whole game long. Asking umpires to do forward progress and those kind of pieces like we used to, the committee didn't feel that that was the best use of our officials and their strengths. So we are putting you in the position that you officiate from the whole game. So head linesman, line judge, yeah, you're going to have pylon on the other side of the field, so you may have to go 100 yards, but that's pretty rare. We don't have kickoff returns for touchdowns that often. Most of our plays are going to end in the 25, 30, 35 yard line area, and we can pick up forward progress from there. But I wanted to show this free kick as an example because in this particular case, and in a lot of free kicks, the head linesman and the umpire in the previous mechanics were not officiating anything. They were too busy trying to figure out, what do I watch? Do I watch out in front? Do I watch the kick return man help the referee? It was very difficult. It's a lot easier to officiate forward. So we're going to be on the pylon initially, officiating forward, and then coming up the sideline 2 yards off the sideline. So we'll cover these a little bit more in detail at the clinics, but I wanted to show this clip as an example of why we moved to the new mechanic. It was just too difficult for the head linesman and umpire in the previous mechanics to do any officiating because they were too busy trying to make choices about what they should watch and what they shouldn't. So try to have an open mind on these mechanics. We can make adjustments as necessary, but we think we're going to be in a pretty good position, one that you're used to doing. You know, umpires, back judges, all of our officials are going to be in a position that they're used to officiating from. So we think you'll like this change. Just try to have an open mind on it, and you know, we'll see how it works and we can adjust. I wanted to use this play to call your attention to number 9 on our mechanics modification document, and it's really a clarification on how we want to handle these types of plays with pitches, backward passes, and so on. And if we have a pitch backwards pass, the wing opposite will be primary. Now the play side wing can certainly help, and they'll have a pretty good idea, but sometimes they have a lot of stuff in their lap, which is why the opposite wing can really help with punching backwards on backwards passes or pitches like we have here. When we're 5 yards in and out from the goal line, the R will be the primary, and then the wing opposite secondary. Sometimes the wing who's closest is going to have a tough time with a play like this if it's down by the goal line because they're going to the goal line at the snap. So really well done mechanically on this play by the line of scrimmage official. I just wanted to point out our mechanics modification, and I also want to point out that we have an aspiring official on the sideline thanks to the help by the coach. We'll have a free kick here on this play, and I think this play is a really good example of why the committee felt we needed to change this mechanic in our coverage on free kicks. Notice the head linesman, he's trying to work backwards. He's trying to figure out what to look at. Do I look at the ball carrier? Do I look at the blocks? He's close to the sideline, all those kinds of factors. This is exactly why the committee moved the head linesman and line judge back to the pylon and then work your way forward versus trying to work your way backwards like this official has to do. And this mechanic really puts officials in a tough place mechanically on what to look at. But well done by the crew in our old mechanic. On this play, we're going to start about the 33-yard line left hash, and we're going to have a running play off right tackle that ends up going the distance for a touchdown, and we have excellent mechanics by the back judge. I just wanted to point out how patient he is, lets him cross the goal line with the ball in his possession. There's no hurry to rule touchdown because we go up too fast and the ball's already out of his hands and he hasn't crossed the goal line with it. Now, you know, we're putting ourselves in a potential jeopardy there. So back judges, remember, we're about 20 yards or so, have football IQ, know where you should be, but I just really like the patience, excellent positioning, no hurry, let them cross the goal line, and then you can go up with it. There's no problem signaling touchdown about a second after the play. Well done by the back judge. Okay, we're going to have 2 free kicks in a row. Again, Another example of the reasoning for changing the mechanics is these coffin corner kind of kicks, and you'll see that we have a kick that is close to crossing right over the pylon or at the one. Really tough under the old mechanic. If we're at the pylon, then we have this play no problem. Now philosophically, remember that if it's 50-50 crossing the pylon or not, kick out of bounds or not, let's make it a touchback. Don't nitpick. This one I think crosses at the one or so, so fine, free kick out of bounds, but make sure we don't nitpick. On this next play, I just want to point out, well done by the referee. We're well positioned to see that this is a touchback. So we need to be on the goal line. Again, a ball that's muffed and continues and crosses the plane is going to be a touchback. So well done by the referee on this play. Nicely positioned, nice and calm, couple swipes, signal the touchback, and then we'll move forward from there. So well done by the crew and the referee on these plays. Thanks for watching. Hopefully these plays were helpful. We'll have several more tapes as we move ahead with the season, and it's a little bit longer in this tape because we had a few mechanical adjustments and additions that we have this year that I want to cover a little bit more in depth, and we'll do that in the future training tapes as well. But again, great job by the officials in our prep bowl. A lot of great examples of good officiating, and I'm happy to show those in these tapes as we move forward. So again, thanks for watching. Hopefully they're helpful for you as we move ahead. Try to get to a scrimmage next Saturday if you're able, and we'll get another one of these training tapes out middle of next week. Have a great weekend.